Still on Isaiah Berlin, like I said, he advocates that normative political theorizing must always find expression in the study of institutions, in the operational forms, and where there are deficiencies, then we find out, they prescribe what the institutions ought to do in order to deal with the deficiencies that might have been unearthed. And then it also would have to investigate whether these institutions are doing well in satisfying the interests of the citizens, and whether they are working well to achieve or satisfy their mandate. Berlin further goes on to say that using normative political theory typically involves the following. One, ensuring internal consistency and logical coherence of every moral argument through clarification of concepts. Take note of this. If the normative political thinker wants to go about his study, he ensures internal consistency and logical coherence of moral arguments through clarification of concepts. The criticisms, as we will later find out, have always been that, well, normative thinkers are internally inconsistent, their arguments are abstract, and they are not coherent, and their arguments are not logical. But he's saying that for him, normative thinkers go about their study and their inquiry by, first of all, ensuring internal consistency and logical coherence in every moral argument they advance through clarification of concepts. Here, they will tell you that, well, the concept of democracy may have so many meanings to so many people, but this, if they want to use democracy as a concept, they clarify. So, for me, democracy, somebody may have defined democracy as a system of government whereby the governing power is exercised by the people, whether directly or indirectly. So that may be somebody's definition. But normative thinker may also offer another definition. Okay, democracy simply means the will of the people, and then they will tell you that that is the concept of democracy that they have clarified. And so, if you use his clarified definition of the concept of democracy, you should be able to arrive at whatever finding or conclusion that he may have arrived at. So they ensure that there is always consistency and logical coherence in moral argument. Again, Berlin says that making use of normative political theory sometimes also include borrowing concepts from other social science disciplines like economics, psychology, history, etc., in order to check the accuracy of empirical assumptions underlying argument advanced, and to bring out the problems in moral arguments which are not revealed immediately in abstract reasoning. So the point is that, yes, the normative thinker may be involved in abstract conceptualization, but even so, to be able to ensure that whatever he's reasoning is true and whatever he's thinking about are valid, he will try to also borrow from the concepts of other social science disciplines to be able to compare whether his reasoning are valid or his reasoning are completely out of touch. And then finally, during using normative political thinking, according to Isaiah Berlin, also involves examination of conclusions of arguments in the light of their own intuition. Are the conclusions of argument sensible? Do they make sense? Are they sound? Are they valid? Examination of conclusion of moral arguments in the light of their own intuition. A citizen ought to pay taxes to enable the state to run. Is it a sound statement to make? Is it a valid statement to make? Is it something that we'll be able to sell to people? So, very important. And so they have used these processes. Isaiah Berlin and co. use or tend to use some of these steps that are supposed to be resorted to in going about normative political thinking as a way of justifying the approach and as a way of making a defense that, look, the normative political thinker does not always involve in what is himself or herself in what is abstract, but some or many at times they do things that are scientific and logically coherent. I will talk about the relevance of normative political theory and then the criticisms of normative political theory in another lecture.